Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to your Ipswich Buses Matchday Fans React full-time show. And we're going to be reacting on a win. That's right, albeit in the Pizza Express Cup, but it's a win, it's a win. And of course, as I say, this is your chance to have your say. The link is now in the chat. There we go. Bing, bang, bong. In it goes. Get yourself on the show and have your say on what you felt the game went tonight. Did you enjoy it? Was it a good game from your perspective? Who stood out? Who maybe stood up and said, look, Gaffer, Selena can't play Saturday. I want his spot, and I think I deserve it from that performance alone. There was a live chat of Willow as Megan is demonstrating. Hello, Megan. Just come from Alex Griffin and subbed. Welcome in, Megan. Thank you for subbing to the channel. Welcome back, Steve. Welcome back, Coxie. And two people are already waiting in the VIP area to come into the show. Absolutely love that. Before we go into the game, though, a few things I want to quickly mention. First of all, we're at 3,000 subscribers. Big round of applause.
Yeah. Come on.
Nice.
Contributors, they all work their tails off. A huge well done, and thank you to the wonderful community that's building up around this show. But 3,000 subscribers, only just the beginning. But as we are a community, I do want to just quickly mention, Steve, you've changed. Where's the
He has, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got chili.
You got chili, or did you eat chili and spill chili?
No, as in I got cold.
You got cold. Fair play.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those that joined us earlier in the show, he was in a wonderful shirt, a wonderful retro shirt. Well, we are a community, and as such, Mark Peaky Tuxford did sit down with Nikki Forster for his People Behind Brands podcast. Link is in the chat. Links in the pinned comments if you're watching this back. Do go and do what the Talking Town community does best and show him some love. Show that show some love. Maybe leave a 5-star review if you're there. Say, look, seen you on Talking Town. You're the best thing since sliced bread. Love your intro. You're a great guy, Peaky. 5 stars. Whatever it is, this is what we're all about. Go and show him some love. So, who's getting the love tonight that played in white for Ipswich Town? I think it was, if memory serves me correctly. Who deserves a game ball, we'll call it? Stephen Thomson, who stood out for you?
I think Piggott warms up. He was good towards the end. Edwards, for me, was brilliant. Very good.
Edward, okay. Nice. See, that's what I like about Steve. He's short, sharp, to the point. You know what I mean? You never have to set him up, draw him back, pull him back from the edge. You know, Coxie, you need me a bit more because Coxie's a linguist. No, wait, that's a pasta.
Linguist.
That's a pasta.
No.
That's a pasta. Go on, Coxie. What do you think?
I'm not a linguistic, but I'm known to be a masturbator.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh,
There
sorry.
was definitely a pun there. There was
Well,
Hey!
Welcome to
You
the
set
new
him up.
subscribers that you've just hit subscribe.
Oh.
Aren't you? Please, you join the show.
Sorry,
Coxie.
just a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, back to the game. Yeah. I thought Piggott had good. Edwards. Edwards done all right. But for me, it was Chaplin. I thought he took his goal very well. Yeah. Chaplin is the man. Yeah.
He
He's done all right.
He did look.
It's given Cook something to think about.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But just something
True.
to think about.
Oh, absolutely. Ryan Senior, win's a win. Think from these games, we've got to take a little from a win or defeat, as it won't define our season. Robert Grimsey, what's the attendance? Yes, we are all waiting with bated breath on the attendance. So please, can somebody find that out? Because Coxey had 2,100 people, and I said if it came anywhere near 2,000, within, I'll determine what 2,000, what near 2,000 is. But if it does come near it, I will give away a spot prize. Because I literally fall off this chair. Lee Brown wins a win. Credit where credit's due. Duncan, the legend that is Big Duncan Ferro. In my opinion, everyone is important in a cup as this gains confidence. Cruncher, crowd no more than 1,000. Phew. Wait for the official attendance figure, but my wallet can rest easy a little bit tonight. Neil Perks, Matt Stanner, did you try and message me? I love our chat sometimes.
What is this, Messenger?
In a minute, we'll get the fucking horoscopes come up. So, Matt, are you a Pisces? Rob Holmes, well done. Sound. Jason Clayton, good result. More minutes for Edwards, but need to start seeing assists or goals. Megan, I've already read your comment, but I'll read it again. Come from Alex Griffin show. Substitute to get 3,000. Love it. Monty, Shrewsbury beat Wolves under 21s. Cruncher says 3,000. Firework. And he says, what fantastic effort. And then Matt Cruncher's gone apart from Matt Phillips. Be the gold YouTube badge soon, Guv. Can you imagine it, Stephen? Can you imagine it?
That would be a hell of a step from it.
Oh, wow.
Never going to happen, is it? Heidi, someone should tell Brenner
Think
that
big, Governor, come on.
He sounds depressed.
You sound just like me.
Matt says, it is a Pisces. How did I know? Just Sagittarius people know these types of stuff, you see.
The mystic powers of Martin Lambert.
Only counted one side, Gov. 637. Oh. Stephen Thomson, you had 602.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, you were close. We'll bring in Stephen Parry. Stephen, beat. Preston Pump, welcome in. You were there on Saturday. You watched tonight. Chalk and cheese, obviously different games, different competition, different competitive levels. But what did you make of tonight's performance, and who stood out for you?
I liked Chaplin second half. I thought he came into it well. I thought he was a bit anonymous first half. I think Edwards was running the show mainly first half. They came into it when we stopped playing it to Edwards, and Edwards was going looking for the ball, and it was clear then that they were starting to get ahead of steam then. But we came out. I thought it was a brilliant ball from Piggott from a defensive free kick, and I thought it was a perfect pass, perfect run, perfect goal. It's what you need to do away from home, and that's all they need to do. They don't need to do flash stuff all the time. Against Accrington, I think they wanted to try and be too clever, and sometimes you've just got to go there, do your job, get it done, do what you need to do to win.
That's what they've done tonight, Steve.
Yeah, and I think after the Doncaster result, I think that gave them too much confidence. And I think they went into Accrington thinking, we just turned Doncaster up, and these will be a cakewalk. And they're not, nobody's going to be a cakewalk. You've got to grind out everything. And I do think, Morsey had a point. People said it was disrespectful. I do think Morsey had a point. A lot of these players have never played, probably either never or not for a long time, played this type of football. Morsey's been in the Championship for years. Harper and Evans have never played in the League One for a long time. Chaplin's been in the Championship for a long time. You start to forget how to play teams when you're playing teams which are a little bit more expansive. And the point I made last night, Gov, was what I said, that sometimes people are looking at the wrong thing. Is I'm looking at it as
yes, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You take the first 6 games, you take the second 6 games, have we improved? Demonstrably. You look at our last 5, played 5, won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. We wouldn't have we'd have dreamed of that at the start of the season. So we have progressed. We've got better. Are we as good as we can be? No. Can we get better? Yes. But I do think we have moved a step forward. I think this month's going to be vital. If he can get 10 points this month, I think we can say that we're getting back on the train's getting back on the track. Anything less than 10 points, he's going to start having a bit of a rocky spell. But I think if he can get 10 points, we can say the train, because then it'll be roughly, it'll have gone from like 3 points to 7 points to 10 points. Mm-hmm. So you can still see progression. And I just think we've got to get into them players. Like I said, I nearly nicked Bursant's taxi when he was going to Manchester Airport at the end of the Accrington game. And he was gutted. Seriously, he was. But the point is, what I'm saying, why was he playing? Within 5 minutes of that match finished, he was getting in a cab to go to the airport. It is with everything. Just don't play him.
But that'll be international footballers up and down the country, Stephen. That's standard. They're used to that by now.
It doesn't mean that he's not got things on his mind, Guv.
Yeah, but in that case, you might never play him. He might wake up one day and have a barney with the missus or something.
I'm not saying that's an excuse for not playing well. Yeah, but I'm saying they're only human. They've got things. They're not robots. When he's worried about whether he's going to get his flight, whether he's going to get through COVID restrictions and this, that, and the other, he's probably got a lot of things on his mind that other players have got. Sometimes they have a bad game. Man United drew with Everton. No one would have expected that. Sometimes they just have a bad game, and I think we just need to calm down and say, look, we're on a run of form. We've had 5 games. We've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. Let's just see. Let's go into Shrewsbury, see how we do. If we win that one, we're back on the train.
Absolutely. Stay right there. We'll come back to you in a second. We've got Adrian Croucher, 3,000 know a good podcast when they see one. Appreciate that, Adrian. Crunch says, there is the famous beep beep. Duncan said his was 850. Slightly over there, you see. There, Dunk. Ben Moore, 3,000 subscribers. Well done all. Fully deserved. Good win. Let's bring this into Saturday then. Cambridge away. Ben Moore, we're not playing Man United. You keep bigging this game up as if we're about to go and play Real Madrid or Man United in the Champions League final. It's Cambridge away. Take it down a notch, Ben. It's only Cambridge. And that means
that's its bragging rights game, I think.
I know. It's yeah. And I get that. I was young once, believe it or not. And I get it. But I said to him earlier, it's just another game for Ipswich Town. It's a huge game for them because they're a goldfish. Just another game for us. Another game. Rob Law. We have some good finishers at last. Ryan Senior. Positive we scored first and the Helmets the win. Got the second to kill it. What we normally need to be doing in the league. We've got Alex Griffin in the room. 3,000. Alex, thanks to you, my friend. You are an absolute goat of the YouTube Suffolk community. Absolute legend. Emerson turned off the radio back to the TT community. Why would you put the radio on in the first place? I mean, it's right here. It's right here is where it counts. Crunch 76. Footballers would never play them beep if they're worried about things. You've already addressed that beep, so don't worry about that one just yet. Lewis, how much did Jimmy Bullard charge you to appear on the show?
I'm getting your haircut soon. Don't worry about it.
I think he means Coxie, Steve.
All right. That's okay. You can have my hair. I can puss it off and sell it.
Stephen, obviously, Burton is missing Saturday. As you well know, you saw him get on the plane and fly for international duty. So who comes in? Does anyone from today's game make a good enough case for you to come in on Saturday? Or is there maybe somebody that wasn't playing today? Maybe a Shawnee Aluko or Shawnee, as Matt would like me to call him, if he's not injured. Who fills the Burton role on Saturday?
It depends, because if he's going to play Fraser left, and because Selena was playing the centre, maybe Chaplin will play the centre. Yeah, or he might play Edwards at left. But even for the small cameo that he came on, I thought Louis Barry was good. He was driving and running at people. I thought he was quite good on the right. And maybe he might get a look in, I don't know. But I think if you're going for the obvious and Selena was playing the number 10, it's probably going to be Chaplin coming in for Selena at number 10.
Okay.
Do you think
Stephen?
so? Right.
Barry was mentioned there. The where's it's like almost like where's Waldo? Where's Barry? We could make a whole scene that we can make. Hey, George, merchandise idea for Christmas. A Where's Barry book. Literally could do scene after scene. Find Louis Barry. Well, I'm writing that one down myself. It's a bloody killer. That one. That made a lot of money. Steve, Louis Barry. What did you? Yeah, exactly. What did you make of him today?
Yeah, he was good. He's been pretty anonymous so far this season, hasn't he? But I know it's obviously not all been his fault. But I think he was really good tonight. He was driving forward. His pace was good on the ball. I reckon he could get a look in on Saturday. I hope so. So I think he deserves to show what he can do in a league game as well.
Okay. Lee Brown says send him back to Villa.
I hope Villa don't recall him, because I think we could see more of him. Obviously, it's tricky to get in the minute with the squad we've got. But he's a decent player, so it would be good to see him in a league game. Well,
it is difficult to get in, as you say there, Steve. But Coxie, there's definitely a place available for Saturday, and we don't expect Paul Cook to spring a tactical surprise, because that'd be madness. So we do expect it to be a 4-2-3-1. Lee Brown said send him back to Villa. Beep and Stephen, kind of like what they saw. Did you like what you saw, or would you say, cut losses, send him back to Villa? Because he's not going to get a chance. And if he did, I don't think he'd be good enough. Where are you on the Louis Barry roller coaster ride.
Well, on tonight's, it was a very brief appearance, but he done extremely well, and he felt he should have had a penalty at the end. He was arguing with the ref or Mr. Kettle there, and but it depends on how. I mean, we've got 3 months until if you play till the transfer window opens. But I think if things as they are at the moment, I think Villa will recall him. I think because they want him to get game time, and he hasn't had it, has he?
Pete, as you sit here on a Tuesday night at 10. Sorry.
I'm just saying, I don't honestly see Barry staying because Villa want more time in his legs. But I just thought from that small showing, if he played and he showed more of that, then there might be something to him. I don't think he will, and I don't think he could do 90 minutes doing that. So like Crunchy said, it's probably the wrong player at the wrong time, and he's probably better going back. But I just like what I saw in the 10 minutes he was on.
Okay, Beep, as always, been a real pleasure. Look after yourself. Speak to you Thursday or Friday or Saturday or some point, I'm sure. Look after yourself and your good lady wife. We've got the GOAT joining us in his dressing gown, ladies and gentlemen, very shortly. That is not something you ever should inflict on anybody, but we will. He knows I'm only joking. Talk to me about Raheem Harper. We've got Raheem Harper, Joe Pigott still to be spoken about, 2 players on the periphery of the first team, a first team that's struggling. Did Raheem Harper do enough tonight to warrant giving Paul Cook the need for paracetamol come Thursday night? Stephen Thomson.
I don't know. He was good. He did all right, but I think him and Edwards, they've got a good fight between them, I think, for that. And it's always tricky, obviously, with so many limited spaces in the squad. I think that there were spots where he looked decent. But I don't know if he'll be there come Saturday. Okay.
Coxie, spots where he looked decent, surely for a player brought in for a decent fee. For obviously from West Brom in terms of the whole thing being quite decent. Chris from West Brom, our friend, suggesting good player just needs to knuckle down. Was tonight really a platform that seemed ready made for him that he missed, because it seemed to be, this is your stage tonight, son. Go out and show why you should be a first teamer. And we're hearing spots from Steve. Did he do spots, or did he do more than that? Where were you on Harper?
No, definitely a spotty game from him tonight. Like you said, he had the perfect opportunity. He had the stage there to really take and show us what he can do and give Paul Cook, like you said, the paracetamol thing. But I don't think he's done enough to get in the starting lineup. For me, it's obviously going to be Edwards in for Salina. I hope he plays him on the left and plays Fraser in the middle there. Because
you seriously think it'd be Edwards then? Because I saw somebody on the half-time show say Edwards looks lively in the times we've seen him since the start of the year, but never an end product. I think the person who wrote that fell a little bit short of saying Keenan Bennett. But where are you on that? Where are you on that Edwards? On that opinion with Edwards?
It's a bit harsh. Better put him up against Keenan Bennett, because.
To be fair, I added that bit in, but that's almost what it feels like you're saying. Lively, but with no end product. Keenan Bennett's looked like he might do something once upon a time, and then couldn't deliver a paper as a paper boy. Let's be honest. But where were you on Edwards?
Yeah, it's harsh. He's done it. He's now just come. He's been out for a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. He was out for. Mm-hmm. He's been out for. So he's coming back from an injury. But he done all right. There's loads of players out there, like you say, done all right. It was a professional performance. They got the job done, and as Steve Parry said, beep beep. If they'd have done that on Saturday, gone out with that mentality, just get the job done. Don't think we can go out there and roll over Accrington Stanley. Because but what's done is done.
Exactly. But what you said there, a key word, professionalism, and that's what's been missing from the Stanley game, the Stephen, it was Cheltenham game. In fact, any game we've taken the lead and lost in, really, the professionalism. Nick Starling. Just looked and it's all dark in the Goat's house past his bedtime for these evening games. So he sat in the dark and in his dressing gown, ladies and gentlemen. It gets worse. Michael Finch, if players want to be part of the process, then they're going to have to work their asses off to prove they're good enough to get this team.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. Cruncher. Edwards needs to deliver lots of promise, but no end products. Jason Clayton, naughty Guv. I never said Bennett's. No, I did say I added that in. I did say I added that in. He's better than Bennett's, who hasn't produced his final pass or shot. So current, I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to go back, but I did add that in. I did say I added that in as what I did. Rob Lowe says, true, Jason. Flat as to deceive. Lee Brown, we did more than all right on Saturday. I am sorry, Jason.
Yes.
Naughty Guv. Slap the wrist. Do apologise. Joe Pigott. Obviously, Macaulay Bonne is a man possessed in front of goal. You ain't going to dislodge him, but we have seen him miss game time through injury before. Touch wood, it never happens, but he could wake up tomorrow and have a bit of cramp. Fuck, I did this morning, actually, kind of think of it. It was hell. Heaven forbid that happens to Macaulay, but if it does, who's it going to be? Is it Joe Pigott? Did he do enough for you tonight? Got a goal, look lively. Is it Norwood off past preference? Or maybe the forgotten man, Caden Jackson, forced his way back into the reckoning tonight? Stephen Thomson, 3 players there. What are your thoughts?
It wouldn't be Caden for me. Yeah, if Macaulay stays fit, it's going to be him, isn't it, every day? And rightly so, because he's been absolutely insane this season. But yeah, if for any reason he can't do it, yeah, Joe Pigott all the way, because he was really solid tonight. That goal was brilliant. He was, yeah, I think really solid. So it wouldn't be Caden. Norwood, no, not quite. Well, Norwood's got the sort of physicality where he can bully. But yeah, for me, just Joe Pigott all the way, definitely.
Okay, Cooksey, same question. What are you thinking?
Definitely the pig man there. Yeah, he offers a lot better than Norwood. Now he's just got that bit of skill. Caden Jackson played it exactly to his feet in the 18-yard box. He proves what he can do when you do that. He finished very well there.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely the pig for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I still would like to see Pigott and Bonne up the top together. When we saw Norwood and Bonne up top for fleeting moments at the opening day of the season, they looked a fairly decent level. Joe Pigott's a good player at this at League One level. He's a very good player, and he puts himself about. I think at times we need him, and at times we don't get him because it's really difficult now for Paul Cook to take Macaulay Bonne off the field at any point. It's almost getting to that, and I know I hesitate, but it is almost getting to that Daryl Murphy level of, well, he's your top goal scorer. He's a bit of your talisman. If you need a goal, and if you need a goal, or you still want to try and nick one to, we've never really, apart from Doncaster, been in a situation, and one of the MK Dons games or Wimbledon, they're both the same team. We've never really been in a situation where we've been 2 or 3 nil up, where you would be okay and maybe confident in taking a striker like Bonne off. We've always been in games where you need that goal, and that's obviously hurt Pigott and Norwood's chances. I wouldn't play Norwood if he was I couldn't say that. He's quite a good finisher, to be fair. Stephen Parry, per replacement looked good. Ben Moore, he will come good. Edwards, but my dad said he'd have Gwion Edwards still. Does your dad play fantasy football, Ben? Because if he does, you might not be the worst player we have. Matt Stan, I'm only joking, Ben. Thought he looked good, as did Norwood, and that passed to Jackson. Tim Molden. Okay, quick question. We'll answer this one. Get yourself ready, go. Make sure that dressing gown's all tied up, son. YouTube have rules. We're bringing you on soon. Quick question. If we turn over Shrews on Saturday, can we stop with the weekly cook in, out, and realise it's long term? Like B said, last 6 games, see improvement. Has it been game by game knee-jerk reaction, Peter Cox, or has it been more of you've taken Lincoln Wednesday and Donny and spoken about it, and then you've reacted to Stanley because you've had the poor start before, or has it been game by game? How just answer sort of Tim Molden's fantastic question there. Thanks for asking it, Tim.
Yeah, so I suppose it has been sort of, well, it varies from individual to individual. I mean, probably from my own point of view, it has been sort of cook in, cook out. I know you
shake it all about.
Yeah, the okey cokey scenario, we call it. It is. Yeah.
I think now, well, if you lose Saturday, it's gonna go tenfold. But I think if you win Saturday, and we should do, let's be brutally honest. Steve, maybe you can answer this. if you win Saturday, you really have got to take a more pragmatic view of it, a long-term view, and say, well, he's got 5 more games at the very least. We're going to judge him on and I tried to get this on Monday's show. I wanted the guys and girls to tell me and Sunday to an extent, what their minimum points return was, because then when you can no longer hit that minimum points return, that's when you then act or visit it. Is that the way to be now? You've got to sort of say in your mind, right, we've got 5 games, I want 12 points. And the moment you can't hit 12 points, that's when you start on the bandwagon again. Where how do you see it?
Yeah, I think so. It's just this season sort of feels, although we've had different levels of opposition as well, it just feels like you could take a couple of steps forward and then back. You know, I mean, 6-0 against Doncaster was awesome. I mean, obviously, granted, they're bottom of the team and they're not playing brilliantly. And then absolutely bullied by Accrington. I think you're always going to get that cook in, cook out thing. You know, it's going to happen with sort of every manager unless we're winning every single game by 3-4 goals to nothing. But yeah, I think you do have to sort of take it like, okay, so we've got this many games, we haven't got as many points as we should have. We can start to be a bit concerned now. You know, and I think I said earlier in the season, I think I tweeted out and said, can we be a bit concerned now? Because it was so many games without a win. And it does get frustrating, but there is improvement. I think we can all see that. It's just still stupid errors. And we saw tonight as well, so many free kicks given away in dangerous positions. They need to get rid of that.
We do, particularly when we've got dodgy goalkeepers. Don't forget you can support the show on Ko-Fi. That's not the Ko-Fi link, that's the StreamYard link. But you can support the show on Ko-Fi. Just head over there, one-off donations, monthly donations. I've had a handful of people sort of messaging me through the game asking how they do that. So I will be in touch with you if you're watching, which I imagine you do watch if you're asking me for that. I will be in touch, but if you are watching, you can just use the link, the Ko-Fi link, set it up through there. Everything gets put back into the platform. I'm going to bring the GOAT in because, you know, he's a man desperate for Wembley. And if Town don't get you there, Colin, I promise you, my friend, I will get you a Wembley tour lined up, signed, sealed, delivered. I promise you that, my man. We'll get you to Wembley this year by hook or by crook. But I promise you one thing, you won't support Ipswich there and you won't be supporting Norwich there. Well, that's a given. Norwich don't do Wembleys. But how are you? Welcome in, Goat.
It's bloody Hugh Hefner. Look at that.
I know.
Live from the Playboy Mansion near Bury.
Oh, dear. Anyway, evening, Stephen. Evening, Cox. Even the great Guv.
Hello.
And fantastic you've reached the 3,000, Guv. My congratulations go to yourself.
Hey, it's a we,
Rick,
not a me. I've always said that. It's a big we thing, not a me.
Foxy, Kate, and all the other contributors. Very, very well done.
Yeah, Martin's the captain of the ship. Colin, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
Of course he is.
Watch out for the icebergs then, Peter.
Right. Anyway, you go on about Wembley. No, I need to go back, Martin, to earlier on because I think I need to give you three a very slight apology because I didn't mean that. No, Coxie.
You don't, mate. You don't
No.
No. Let me apologise. Let me apologise. I want to hear an apology.
No. I was just trying to say. I just thought, you know, we as a whole, not you three sitting there, but we as a whole, you know, a lot of the fan base over the last 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, you know, I think seem to be pointing fingers a little bit too harshly sometimes, you know, and I think, you know, like we said before, and was said tonight on the commentary, I think it was Brenner, or was it Steve Ainsley? I can't remember, but one of the two, I think it might be Brenner, said about, you know, when we brought Norwood and Barry on. And actually, for once, that was a very, very good comment that I think it was Brenner made, that what other squad in Division 1 in the Papa John's Trophy could actually bring that standard of player on as substitutes in a game like that. And I think that spoke volumes for our squad, We've spoke about it before, Martin, and we mustn't get away from the fact, right? Yes, we keep having these hiccups, but we mustn't get away from the fact that we have got as good a squad in this league as anybody, and I will keep harping on about it as until I'm blue in the face. This squad will come good. In my opinion, this squad will come good. And when it comes good and they have this decent run, which I'm sure they'll have, it might be the next 5 or 6 games. It might not. But I'm sure we'll go on this good run and we'll all be stopping pointing fingers. I'm not talking about people on the show. I'm talking about generally. This is what I meant, Cox. This is what I meant, Steve. This is what I meant, Martin. Let's get behind this squad big time, starting on Saturday, because what I watched, I didn't go to the Accrington game, so I can't really comment. Yeah. I didn't go tonight. I listened to it on the radio like I did Accrington. I get a picture of sorts by listening to it on the radio, but like Graham said last night, it isn't like watching a game, you know, where you're watching it 360. You know, it just isn't, and we all know that. So let's get back to Portland Road on Saturday. Let's start afresh, and let's get behind this great squad for League One, which it is. And I'm sure we'll get a victory. I'm absolutely positive we'll get a victory on Saturday. And there's a good little win tonight. And I do feel for the youngsters, because actually, as I'm sitting here, I'm looking, Rich knows what I'm talking about. I'm looking at my cabinet where I've got a few glasses and blah, blah, blah. And there's an Ipswich Real Madrid programme. There's a Texaco Cup final programme, Ipswich Norwich. There's an FA Cup final programme. There's a UEFA Cup final, 2 programmes, home and away. There's a UEFA Cup final ticket, an FA Cup final ticket. All in that cabinet. Now, Norwich fans can say what they like in this chat, because I'm sure it was a Norwich fan, right? About, oh, you live in the past. Well, I'm looking at the past, and that will never, ever leave my house. And it will never leave my heart, and it will never leave my family. You know? So we've got that history. We'll forever have that history. And we will make more history. But we even if it means us getting into the Papa John's Trophy final and making a little bit of history for the youngsters like that, let's try our damnedest to make that happen for people like Richard's children and other people's families who've got young children who've never seen anything. Let's try and make it happen just for them. Please, you know, because at the end of the day, we've gone to Gillingham tonight on the back of an awful result. We've dug out a result which has kept us in the running. And I mean, if we go a little bit further in the tournament, I'm thinking about the youngsters again. Paul can put maybe 1 or 2 of what are so-called better first division players in. When we come up maybe against the likes of Sunderland or whatever, and then we go from there. And let's try and do something for these people, because you know I'm very, very lucky. I don't want to keep harping on about it, but I'm very, very lucky what I've seen in my lifetime. And let's just make it a little bit nicer and more pleasurable for the younger generation.
Colin, you are a true gentleman, a scholar, and the GOAT. You are the greatest of all time. Truly, that was very well spoken. And as the good doctor says, to follow it up, how much do Norwich fans save on cabinets, though? Ryan Senior, well said, Colin. For fans in the early 20s, it'd be nice to compete to try and win the trophy. Emerson will have a day at Wembley of my girls. Jason means nothing being top in October. Sunderland lost 4-0 to Pompey. Nick says, Nick Starling, I agree with you, Colin. You talk sense. He certainly does. He certainly does.
Yeah.
Tim, as a business, you might review things quarterly, and this month with the first quarter, let's assess then, and hopefully we'll know more about what is working and needs to improve. The good doctor claps the goat. Yeah, well said, Colin. And I think, you know, if the last 18 months have sort of told us anything, it's never take anything for granted ever. And I would like to see my football team play at Wembley. I've seen an NFL game at Wembley, for crying out loud. I've been to the new Tottenham Stadium and seen things there. You know, I want to go to Wembley and these nice stadia and really enjoy football. And
by the way, Gav, sorry to cut across you.
No problem.
That's one thing that I've spoken to Rich, and I might have crossed you about it as well. That's one thing that I'm really itching to. That's one place I'm really itching to go to. I'm really itching to go to the Tottenham Stadium, and I'm getting on to something I was actually talking to Andy about tonight, because on Saturday is the third. Believe it or not, it's the third qualifying round of the FA Cup on Saturday, which will mean in 2 weeks' time it's the fourth qualifying round, which will mean in only about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks' time we'll be here we go again. Something I've never ever seen in my life until 2 or 3 years ago,
the second round.
And that's the truth. We'll be in the first round of the FA Cup, and
Crazy.
You know, if we play somebody like Metropolitan Police away from home, who are still in it at this moment in time, and then play somebody like who could we say, somebody like
Carlisle.
Gillingham, if you like, again in the second round of the FA Cup. Let's play, or whoever. Let's please, Paul, I plead with you. You did say that you were going to take it quite seriously. I remember you saying that, right? So let's take it seriously this year, and let's try and get not just like Rich's children and other people's children of Rich's children's age, but let's try and get somebody like myself and other people who haven't been to the Tottenham Stadium, you know, in the third round of the FA Cup. You never know, we might draw them in the third round at the what we used to call the old White Hart Lane, and then we'll get something like, and I'm not exaggerating, we'll probably get something like between 10 and 15,000 tickets, especially for an FA Cup tie, because you get more. And what a day out that'd be, and we would sell every one of them.
Be brilliant.
Absolutely, absolutely. Colin, again, you're speaking a lot of sense, and a lot of people in the chat are agreeing with you. But let's, as you imagine, people are enjoying the win. I mean, Andy came in and said he nearly fainted when he saw that we'd won. But as you can imagine, people are enjoying the show, not as inclined as maybe after standing to come on the show and have their say. So let's go back to tonight, and let's go through sort of 1 to 11 player ratings. Colin, you didn't watch the game, but you did use one of the fifth senses, and that's your hearing. So you can stay here and you can get involved in this. Steve, kick us off. Thomas Holy in goal. What would you give him out of 10? And what were your thoughts on tonight's performance from the big man?
I'll give him a 7, but he didn't really do much. You know, it was the odd catch. There was a few sort of shaky moments, I think. Doesn't seem to command his, which we all know doesn't really command his box. That hasn't changed. But he didn't really, fair play, didn't really have a whole lot to do. So, I'll go 7. It was pretty solid.
And he says more to the fact we won a cup game. Sega Zombie, Holy 5 out of 10. Stephen says 6 out of 10. Neil said let's build on this. Coxie, a player that many, I think it's fair to say, disappointed with. We expected a lot more from this young man. But KVY, what would you give him out of 10, and what did you make of his performance tonight?
Yeah, I would give him a 7 out of 10. He did have one moment where we just saw the old Kane Vincent-Long pre-injury. He sort of got, if he'd have scored that goal, we would have been raving about it now. He just took it too wide. He just left it too long. But yeah, I'll give him a yeah.
Okay, Colin, I'm going to give you 2 players here. Sorry, did you say 6 out of 10? Sorry, Coxie, I can't cross you. I do apologise. Coxie. Please forgive me. Colin, 2 players. Captain, Toto and Tiala, and Luke Wolfenden, the formidable duo. What would you give them both out of 10, and your thoughts on them both tonight, having heard the game?
By what I heard on the commentary tonight, they had 1 or 2 little moments, apparently, where, it was, 1 or 2 times where it was going a little bit iffy kind of thing. But by what I heard, and I know that's not brilliant, but I would probably say probably both 6.5 or 7, maybe. You know, they didn't concede. All right, they had 1 or 2 moments, but I'd probably go a 7 and a 6, something like that, Rich.
Okay.
Martin, sorry.
Thoughts on, just before we move on to the left back, thoughts on Toto being as captain material? Is that something that you'd feel comfortable with in a game? Do you think he leads the line well enough to be a captain? Were you surprised to see him wearing the captain's armband, Colin? Talk to us a little bit about on Toto wearing the captain's armband tonight. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I've got to say I wasn't really surprised that he was captain, no. And do I think he's really captain material? Iffy, I suppose, but obviously with the standard of player that we've got in now, I can't see him being captain above Morsey or a bit like that.
Okay. Stephen?
No.
Oh,
no.
Sorry, Colin. Stephen, your main man. The man, the myth, the legend, Miles Kenlock.
I'll go for a 7. I think it's pretty
7?
Good. Yeah, in out of the cold. Actually, to be fair, I'm going to go for an 8 actually because he was good. Had some good runs up the channel. He was doing all right.
Wow.
Good game, I think, from him. Considering he's been so long out in the cold, I think he came back in and did a good job. There were the odd little things, but yeah.
You've been on the old away day beers so early, Stephen, haven't you? You've been having that new tipple from them.
I think he had a good game.
No, Stephen, Barry, taking over from Mr. Positivity, Neil Moles. Coxie, I'll give you 2 players here. Chaplin and Edwards.
Chaplin, as Beep Steve said, Chaplin definitely had a far better second half. He took his goal well. I will give him a 7. And Edwards again, he sort of was a bit in and out. You know, what he done well. Yeah, and he's going to be a 6 for me.
Okay, no problem at all. Coxie. Sorry, not Coxie. Colin. Idris. Idris L. What would you give Idris tonight?
I'm so pleased. I was actually going to ask you if you give him for me to do. I really like this kid. I'll tell you, I'm so pleased we held on to this lad. I'll tell you, he has got really something going for him, and I think maybe he won't crack into the side big time this season, but I think we're going to find, especially post Christmas, I think we're going to find he's going to be, when we get a few injuries and suspensions, which we'll get. We all know that. I think Idris is going to come into his own in League One. He's shown already against Sheffield Wednesday that and I must admit, if it hadn't been for Morsey, he'd have played against Doncaster. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. He was very good against Sheffield Wednesday. I listened to the game, like I say, tonight. He seemed like, not so much running the show, but every pass seemed to be to feet, and everything he did seemed to be, on a level of which we know he's capable. And of what I heard tonight, like I say, it's not the same as not watching it, but I'd give him an 8 all day long tonight. What I heard,
an 8, yeah. Man of the match says Cruncher in the chat. Rob Holmes says 8. Dr. Zach King. Elmis gets better and better. Found his role. 8 out of 10. Sega. Idris 8 out of 10. Man of the match. Emerson. Idris surprised me with that added bite he has in his game now. Steve, you've absolutely.
Martin, can I just say something there, please? What was just said? Yes, that's what we was all questioning pre-Sheffield Wednesday. But having spoken to Wolfie after the game, at the back of the North Stand, he said, and I quote, I more or less remember word for word, Wolfie said he's got that in his locker all day long. He said we see it every day in training. So he's obviously added that little bit to his game, which has obviously got him up that list a little bit. Absolutely. Good luck to the boy.
Totally agree, Colin. Well said. Stephen, I was going to give you a plan. Raheem Harper, there it is. Raheem Harper. And by the way, you sent the chat into an absolute tiz. They think you've been on the straight vodka. They think you've been touching the high shelf of away day beers. They really do. Don't forget.
Some people agree and some people not. There you go. Love it.
Obviously, you've had the whole pack of away day beers. So don't forget, you can get some more fantasy fridge packs from awaydaybeers.com. Stephen Thomson has been on them this evening. As you can see, they do wonders for you.
Apparently so.
Give Mark an 8 out of 10. Raheem Harper, if he gets anything but a 7, then we definitely know you've been on the hard stuff. What are you saying, Steve?
No, I'm kidding. I'll probably go 7 or 8 for him. I think he was all right.
Steve,
I'll go more towards the 7 than the 8. I think he was all right. There was just a few little bits, but he was okay. He was solid, I think.
Okay. Joe Pigott, Coxie.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. He took his goal very, very well. He showed what he can do. Yeah, it's sort of a begrudging 7, possibly even 8. I'll stick on 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob Law, honestly think Harper should get a whole game at number 10 at some point. That may well happen, Rob, this weekend. Selena can't play, so that may well happen. You may well get your wish there. Jordan said Steve smashed. Dr. Zach King, Harper get ranked till last 20, but he was solid. Dr. Zach King, Edwards first half 8, 7 second half. Dr. Chapman was well up there and didn't let up. Last but not least, I'm going to give you, Colin, a member of the famous bomb squad, Caden Jackson. What did you make of his performance tonight, and what would you give him out of 10? What
I heard, he ran down a lot of blind alleys first half and stuff. His final ball, I just kind of heard weren't the best and all this kind of thing. I suppose what I've heard, and like I say, I might get ripped apart because, it's not the same. What I heard probably, I'll give him a 6, but I think I'm probably being generous. Generous.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, there we go. Town have won a game of In the Cup. Shock horror. The group is wide open. I feel like we've been here before. The next game will obviously be a pivotal one. In fact, we have been here before. I think was it Crawley last year when then Lambert decided when we could have qualified from the group, giving us all something to cheer for. He rested all the senior players for the league campaign. Well, that ended up well, didn't it, Paul? Anyway. That is the game. That is done and dusted. We've won a game. The Cruncher rightly says next stop for Talking Town is 4K. Colin, thank you for this evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sleep well, and we'll speak again very soon. Thank you very much, Colin. Man of the match from both of you before we leave, very quickly. Coxie, who's your man of the match?
Connor Chaplin for me.
Okay. Steve, man of the match? Got to be Kenlock for you, isn't it, surely?
Yeah, no. It's for me. It's going to be a tie. It's either El Mazzuni or Chaplin.
Okay, absolutely. As Cruncher says, get subscribing on the race to 4K. Don't forget, Talking Town community, and we are a big community. And that's my phone telling me to go to bed. It says bedtime reminder. See, I'm getting so old, I need bedtime reminders now, just in case you ever get to a point in the night and you go, what do I do? What do I normally do at this time of the evening? Anyway, we are a community, and don't forget that Mark Peaky Tuxford has got a wonderful podcast called People Behind Brands. It's a mini podcast series which gives focus on people's life lessons from around the world of business and their personal journey. It's in conjunction with recent mental health awareness, which, as you know, on this platform, we are huge supporters of Suffolk Mind. I'm a big positive mental attitude person. Try and be good in the world when there's bad, and if you can't say anything nice, try not to say anything at all. But People Behind Brands has reached 20 episodes so far. Season 1 of that, or episode 1, sorry, was Nikki Forster, which is where you guys and girls come in. I think you'll really enjoy listening to the Peaky one talk to Nikki Forster. Links in the chat. Coxie, you made it through. You've been a stand-in for Neil. I think Neil's got to worry about his place. If anybody's pushed anybody for a starting position tonight, Coxie, it's been you. Steve, you've anchored the midfield with Coxie as your partner. How would you rate Coxie's performance tonight out of 10? Would you feel confident having him back alongside you when the bullets are firing and we bench Neil, do you feel?
I think Neil might be on the bench now. I don't know.
Oh,
it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It's a tough decision for the Guv to make, but Jordan says new to the podcast, and I love it. Proper honest town fans. Jordan, you're in for a hell of a journey. Thanks.
That's us, yeah.
Thanks for joining us. You are in for one hell of a journey. You might not like everything you hear. You may love everything you hear, but it'll always be truthful. I promise you. That great standout for Neil, says Cruncher. Excellent show once again, says Rob Holmes. This has been Talking Town, an FCA finalist presentation. We're at the awards next week. Fingers crossed I can say an FCA winner this time.
3,000.
I know. We've hit 3,000. Support us on YouTube by subscribing. Support us through Ko-Fi with a donation, one-off or monthly. Everything, as I say, goes back into the podcast. But that is the Brick Top one, Peter Cox. Stop him again. He'll cut your Jacobs off. That one there is the aficionado. What that man doesn't know is not worth knowing. I am the Guv. This is Talking Town. We are back on Thursday at 8:30. Until then, be good. Stay healthy.
Keep safe.
Keep spreading love.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us